Hey guys, here's the next monthly draw. I asked all of you on the community tab and you asked for Moon, so we'll be drawing Moon this month. In this image it will be a full illustration of Moon walking through that weird field that we've seen in the Earth and Lunar show, just with a few updates because why not, using his fire powers once again. So I asked all of you what you would like to see, and you wanted me to talk about if I think Moon was a good brother or not. So here we go. To cut a long story short, sort of is probably what I'm going to go with. And let me explain why I think this. Okay, so obviously there's Old Moon and New Moon. I just label them both as Moon because really there's not much difference between the two. It's just that one's just a little bit less of a prick, which goes into the whole conversation of was the memory wipe actually necessary? In my opinion, no, because their personality really hasn't changed that much. They've just become a less of a prick, and to be completely honest, I think it would have been more impactful if they didn't lose their memories. And it's only because it would actually show the character growth a little bit better instead of just resetting them back to square one and making them just not a prick, instead of just having them learn from their experience that they need to chill off. Anyway, that aside, back to the original question. So let's put forward the reasons why Moon might be a bad brother. We might as well get the bad stuff out of the way first. Okay, well let's say this. Obviously, one, he disregards Sun's opinion. He even does this after he loses his memories. He seems to push Sun's opinion away quite a bit, and as Luna's pointed out, he just likes to do things that he thinks is right and doesn't take into consideration how it might affect others, especially his family. Obviously, his old self has emotionally abused Sun. Obviously, I don't think he really does that anymore, but we can't ignore the fact that he used to emotionally abuse Sun. Probably not intentionally. A lot of people, when they do emotionally abuse someone, they don't actually realise they're doing it. They see it as, oh, they're just trying to protect them, and they're just trying to be as good as a family member as they can possibly be, and not realising the effects that it's actually having on the other person. Another thing that he does is, obviously, he has been a bit of a hypocrite towards Sun a lot of the times, and he's ignored Sun's mental health. He does this both before he lost his memories and after he loses his memories. Obviously before, with the whole Blood Moon situation, he explains to Sun that killing people is wrong, despite the fact that he knows for a fact that he has done much worse, and all Sun has really done is just killed a sociopath, which debatably is actually not that bad, in complete fairness. I mean, what have we lost really from Blood Moon being killed? Not much. They've just been a lot safer until Ruin brought him back. And after he loses his memories, he continues to do things without Sun's permission. He's pushing Sun away by constantly hanging out with Solar, and he's just generally not listening to how Sun feels. A lot of other characters, Puppet, Earth, and even the Us lot, actually, have constantly said that Sun needs to have some form of therapy because clearly he's not feeling well, and Moon seems to not really care too much. The only time that Moon has actually shown to care about what's wrong with Sun's mental health is when Sun started drinking. And that's a whole different discussion to do with Sun's mental health that will probably be saved for another video. Another thing that Moon generally does is the constant teasing and horrible ways he tends to tease Sun, especially when it comes to Roxanne. Now, I understand siblings tease each other all the time. I tease my siblings tease me. It's just a natural part of having siblings. But there's always a line that we try not to cross, especially when it comes to things that might get related back to traumatic times and when it was really upsetting for someone. I know New Moon didn't live through the time when Sun was really into Roxanne, but the fact is he watched all of the episodes on the YouTube channel the first time he came back, so he could understand where Sun was coming from. So he should know how much of baggage that's gonna be. And while yes, there was a period after all that where Sun still liked Roxanne, He has stated now on multiple times that he no longer does because of how much she's changed, and he's also realised that she's just not a great person for him. And yet Moon continues to tease him about it, completely disregarding the fact that it might have emotional baggage and might even be traumatic for Sun because of what Clips did to him and what he took away from him. When it comes ignoring Sun, let's jump to Luna. Obviously with Luna, the biggest thing that he's done to Luna is he has lied about Eclipse's return, but I don't necessarily think that's too bad because at the end of the day all Moon was trying to do was protect Luna, and let's be fair here, a lot of people do treat Luna like a child because of the way he acts. I know he's not technically a child, but let's be fair, the fandom does this as well. We all treat him like a child. But the fact remains that Moon didn't even ask to Luna, or just didn't give some sort of explanation about what he should have done, and probably should have told him about Jack a lot sooner. Because despite the fact that if he might not wanted to tell him about Eclipse, he could have just told him about Jack, going, look, there's a bit of a threat going around. They threatened you directly, so I just want to use this bodyguard for now. And just explain that Jack's a work in progress, he's going to have a few glitches, and if there is any few glitches, can he please report back? That would have shown Luna some form of respect when it comes to Jack, and I think it would have made Luna and Jack a little bit more seamless when they met. When it comes to Earth, I'm going to be honest, I don't think he's done that much to Earth. I think the worst thing that he's ever done to Earth is probably just not paying attention too much to her. After Solar came into the picture, I have noticed that Moon's been more towards Solar than he has been towards his siblings. And obviously that could be for a completely different reason. We don't know this yet, but you all know what I'm on about. But in fairness, I think the only sin he's caused towards Earth is that he's just not spending that much time with her. And really has not regarded her stuff going on in her life as that important due to the very special relationship that Sun and Moon have with their creator. Okay, enough of me being a bit of a negative Nancy. What about the good stuff? Well, the obvious one is he's very protective of his family, and he will do anything to protect his family. Even family friends such as Solar and Ruin, and even Monty. He does care for Sun a lot. If something happened to Sun, I'm sure he would be devastated. We saw how protective he was when Ruin had hold of him and was threatening to paralyse Sun for life. We saw how quickly Moon reacted to that. When Blood Moon attacked Earth, Moon nearly went off the fucking rails for that, to be completely honest. And the same thing with Luna. When he got attacked, he was very up and ready to fight for his family's safety. To be honest, as much as buying the house was a little bit behind Sun's back, it was still the right thing to do, especially for somewhere it has actually benefited him, where he can go somewhere that's away from the pizzaplex, away from the daycare and all the bad memories, and just go somewhere where only good things have happened so far. He accepted Solar into the family quite quickly, as well as Ruin, and to be completely honest, he's been quite justified in his suspicion of Ruin, and I'm just happy that the suspicions have now been dropped. Well, majority of them have now been dropped, but I'm glad of how forgiving and understanding he has become towards his family. When it comes to other members of his family, I understand that he's a bit more protective, but in fairness, his protectiveness comes from a place of love, and I can appreciate that. He just needs to work on the execution, because otherwise it just comes out of that he doesn't trust them. Obviously, Moon is the head of the family, so I understand why he would take his role quite seriously. So, in conclusion, do I think Moon's a good brother? Most of the time. He still needs to work on accepting his family helping him. He still needs to stop with all of the teasing with Sun and actually start paying attention to Sun's mental health, because he is starting to take note that Sun's behaviour is starting to change, especially when it comes to drinking. But he also needs to look at Sun's general demeanour. Like, we're not the only ones who have noticed that Sun's demeanour lately has become very closed off. He's talking in a very sombre way and seems to only find joy when he's either with his cats, or recently when he started drinking, or is just genuinely playing games with Moon. But all the other times he does seem like something's on his mind, and Moon really needs to pay attention to that and realise that there might be something more going on. With Luna, literally it's just all about rebuilding the trust. That's all that needs to be done with that. And I'll be honest, I do sometimes think Luna's being a little over dramatic and a little bit oversensitive when it comes to this thing. Because I am pretty much more on Moon's side than I am with Luna's. Because at the end of the day, if there's a person that brings traumatic memories, I can fully understand why you might not want to mention that. The only thing, I do agree that Moon should have probably told Luna sooner. But in fairness, would much have actually changed? Probably not. And with Earth, just spend a bit more time with Earth, really. That's all that he needs to do on that part. And probably start getting anger management stuff put in place, because as much as I hate Eclipse, that entire rant, him not being the old Moon, was very overdramatic, and I think he seriously needs to work on that, because it's not going to be long before that anger starts switching onto his family. Okay, so that's it for this monthly draws. If you guys want to see anything else, then by all means leave it in the comment section down below. Just to remind everybody, I do now have commissions open. If you just jump over to my Tumblr and direct message me there, I can answer any questions that you might have, and we can talk about that there. What I've drawn is a full illustration, which is one of the image types that I offer. So if you're interested in this, then by all means please go and give Tumblr a look and see what you think. Okay everyone, I will see you guys in the next monthly draws, and I'm hoping that the next video will actually be the vlogs. Sorry that it's taken so long. I actually wanted to draw a load of new vectors for the vlog videos, so that's all done now, so they all should start coming out now. Okay everyone, thank you for watching. I'm Aza, and I'll see you next time. Bye!